Hi, I'm Lynn, and here's what's happening with the Wandering Shepherds today. Okay, we've made it to the Iroquois locks. There's actually a boat in here right now. Bell ringing, I think, means they're going to open it. So, let's get driving. Just to start off the video, I'll let you know that Arnie just finished baling all the hay because we are from Utopia Farms. We're a sheep farm, and haying has been an ongoing process this summer. So we got that all done. So instead of doing sheep work today, we decided to go for a drive and see what the road brought our way. And what we discovered were the locks and the Lakers. The St. Lawrence Seaway is known as the H20 highway, and it's the major highway for all the Lakers, bringing goods to and from Canada, the United States, and across Europe. And it's right in our neighborhood, and we've never actually seen a Laker go through a lock before. So if we're lucky, fingers crossed, we're going to see one, and we'll see what else we can see along the way too. I thought it was a cormorant, but I think it still might be. Made it to the Iroquois locks, and you can see down below here there's a series of locks, and it looks like a dam over there, and then here's a lock that's looking east towards the Atlantic Ocean on the St. Lawrence River. There's a series of locks here, and we're lucky because there's actually a boat in here right now. So we'll walk up and have a look. And some days you just wish you could ask if they could take you on board and just go away on the Tufty. And believe it or not, this boat is actually moving. I'm not moving, the boat is moving. See the size of it? The guy down below and the guy up top. So I believe the thing that caused the backup along the St. Lawrence to travel all the way through to Lake Superior and down I guess it would be Lake Michigan into the States, was the Niagara Falls. And that's where they had to make the Welland Canal to bypass the Niagara Falls because it's so large there. But this guy's moving. See the tree down here? We were really hoping we'd come across a lake, or it's not often you get to see them come through the locks. So the St. Lawrence Seaway is now referred to as Highway H20, and it's the major commercial, industrial, and agricultural access to the heart of North America. It's also used for recreational vehicles as well, pleasure boats and stuff. So everyone has access to all the locks in the Seaway. So if you're interested about the Seaway and the boats that traverse it, you can go to a website called marinetraffic.com, and there you can see the routes that all the boats on the Seaway are taking, where they're going, where they're headed. You can track a certain boat and follow it. So I looked at Tufty, and sure enough, I found her. I did the filming yesterday, and it's the following day now. So I was able to track her to her berthing point tonight, where she's stopping, and I assume where she's taking on cargo. And she's just north of Montreal on the St. Lawrence Seaway for the night. At the very back of the boat there, you can see a flag flying below that red lifeboat, and that's the flag of Cyprus. So that's the flag she's flying right now. I found out some stuff about Tufty as well. She is a bulk carrier, which means she carries about 30,000 tons of cargo. And that's why people like the St. Lawrence Seaway, because these cargo ships carry 30,000 tons of cargo per ship, Seaway-sized ships. And that's the equivalent of 963 large transport trucks or 301 railway cars. So that has a lot of benefits for taking transports off the roads and making our roads less congested. And an interesting thing about these ships is they can only be a certain size to fit through the locks on the Seaway. So later you'll see it's like a board that was outside the locks that lists the dimensions of the ships that can pass through. And Tufty obviously meets those requirements. Right now you can see the lever is coming down there on the lock. They're closing it up now, and they'll start filling it up so that she can go out the other side. And the doors are closing. soon they're going to open the other ones. Tufty is, let me see her size. She is 185.14 meters long and 23.99 meters wide. And that's pretty close to the standard size for all the ships going on the Seaway. I believe they can't be wider than 80 feet. So usually there's only like a foot on either side of the boat to get through the locks. And then of course they have to close the locks on either end, so they can only be so long as well. Right now they're just waiting for the water to fill up so that it's level with the water on the other side of the lock that she's going through. And as large as the Tufty is and all these Lakers that go on the Seaway, the ocean-going cargo ships are like everything else in the world today. They're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So those ocean-going cargo ships can't get down the Seaway. So what they do is they go to a large port, such as Halifax, if they're coming down the Seaway. And what they'll do is in Halifax, they'll offload the goods onto one of the Lakers to take it down the Seaway. The good thing for North Americans is that because the ocean-going vessels aren't coming down the Seaway and into North America, that means that only ships that go up and down the Seaway are coming in here, and that will limit the amount of contamination and exotic species being brought in attached to the boats and stuff and contaminating our waters. So it helps to keep them a little bit cleaner. Of course, the smaller ocean-going cargo ships are still going to be able to come in here, but it will limit it a little bit anyway. Bell ringing, I think, means they're going to open it. The lock is open 7 days a week, which lets them bypass that Iroquois Dam. Go Goes up to 6 feet of a lift, 934 feet between gates. There we go, that's the information. So the lock is 80 feet wide. So that gives you an idea of how wide this boat is. Because I heard that there's only like a foot on either side of the boats that go through these locks. And for Tufty, there's even less than 2 feet space. But all the gates are open now, and you can see the water's level with the water in the Seaway. And there's the dam over there. That's the anchor there, I think. It's pretty large. If you look carefully, you can just see the Cyprus flag there. And watch the worker on deck as he waves to me. See that? What a cool job that must be. Now that Tufty's out and heading into the Seaway, the locks are closing again, and it's getting prepared to let a pleasure craft come through next. You can see that the propellers are now starting to really churn the water underneath, and as she pulls out into the Seaway, we'll get to see her do a nice turn, and you'll get to see the boat alongside as she turns around and heads up the St. Lawrence towards Montreal, Quebec. You really have to be here in person to truly appreciate the size of these boats. I mean, when I look at it on the screen here, it just looks like a little, you know, fancy cruise ship or something. But this is a really, really big boat. And we're lucky that she's such a beautifully colored boat too. She's very, very pretty. So the Lakers out, and right away now they've let a pleasure boat through. I don't know, but I'm thinking it must be kind of intimidating to be on a little pleasure boat like that, following one of those big Lakers. I mean, it must make you feel pretty insignificant. This one's a Canadian one. And as the Tufty leaves us, I guess we'll say bon voyage to her and her crew. And it was nice seeing you. And here's one of the bridges that crosses the St. Lawrence into the States. I think this one is Highway 37 into the U.S. And those are the grain elevators that take our corn away in the background. The Lakers come pick the corn up and ship it around the world. There's the grain elevators. It was a beautiful bridge, so I had Arnie pull over at the side of the road so I could get out and take some photographs. Oh, perfect timing. We got another Laker coming. What are the odds of that? And she's a big one. So there's the elevators. There's the next Laker. I'll see if I can catch the name on this one so that I can try track her as well. It's also heading east. We got a pair of swans and a pair of ducks. And an international bridge crossing. And it's hard to believe that guy would fit under there. This one looks like it might be even longer than Tufty. Just perfect timing. Arnie's not gonna think so because he's at the side of the road in the car. He should just hop out of the car and come see, because it's pretty awesome. Okay, on the marinetracker.com site, I think I was able to track this ship. I think it's the Algoma Harvester. That's a Canadian ship. She's also a bulk carrier like the Tufty was. I believe she is longer than the Tufty though. She's measuring Length overall, which is LOA, 226 meters, and with a width of 24 meters. That'd be pretty cool if you're on the bridge going over when that was coming through. So I was right, this puts the Algoma harvester at a whopping 134.5 feet longer than the Tufty. Of course, all the boats are basically the same width. She's still on the St. Lawrence, and later on tonight she'll be docking at Quebec City. And we wish her a bon voyage as well.
This is definitely a grain here.
Yeah. As we drove by the locks the first time, we totally missed it because the sign is really, really small for the dam. It's marked as the Iroquois Dam. So we drove by it, and then on our way home, that's when we discovered it. For us, it was really exciting seeing the scope of those ships going through the dock, and then at the end, that second lake you're going under the bridge. I mean, it's very, very lucky. It's a very, very huge H20 highway, and you don't always get to see them. So we consider ourselves lucky. Might have been a long, drawn-out process for some of you, but gave me ideas of how to film it for next time, because I'm hoping there will be a next time, because they were really, really cool, and we enjoyed the experience, and I hope you did too. So until next time, bye for now.
Two ships passing in the night on the stormy sea. You got your navigation lights pointing right at me. From the dead of the night, far away from land, searching for a harbor or a quiet strand. You could be the anchor that keeps my feet on the ground. And I would be the rock that keeps you from drowning. I'm your sail when the wind is blowing. I'm your oar if you need to row. I'm your raft when the river's flowing. I'll follow you wherever you may go. Been breaking through the waves under stormy skies. Been racing with the tides and the hurricane's eye. Been sailing through the light of the northern star. 'Cause I knew that it would lead me to right where you are. I'm your sail when the wind is blowing. I'm your oar if you need to row. I'm your raft when the river's flowing. I'll follow you wherever you may go. I'm your sail when the wind is blowing. I'm your oar if you need to row. I'm your raft when the river's flowing. I'll follow you wherever you may go. I'll follow you wherever you may go. Two ships passing in the night,